got a
Get
dog.
the saying it already.
You haven't heard this. This is...
I know.
Melly.
I heard this from the old timers.
Alright, can you get the saying it? Not doing those take a while for us to say things.
You think you know,
I don't.
but you don't know.
That's
Only the old timers really know.
that's literally. I'm not saying I know.
You know what I heard? Back then, the old guys,
No.
they told me about that day. It's actually, it was at night. Some of them told me that the stars were lined up, the planets, and it was a full moon when it first happened. It was gruesome. You think it's funny.
No, I don't.
The police didn't think it was funny.
Just get the saying it.
When they found that old lady, she had been sitting on her freaking... She'd been sitting out on her front porch. She'd been walking her dogs. Came back, had a seat. She was just taking it easy. That was the last that her husband saw of her. All I found was like a toenail and a tooth and some hair and some blood on a freaking chair. It wasn't nice. What they didn't know, Zachary,
What?
was that somebody had come into town earlier that day.
Is this a real story?
No one knew that because there was a full moon, it was going to be a bad night.
Isn't there always a full moon?
No. Some nights there's no moon at all. But this wasn't one of those nights. That was just the beginning, Zach. There were some teenagers down by the pizza joint. This is what the old guys were telling me. They were hanging around there. They were listening to some rockabilly.
And they heard screams?
No, they didn't hear any screams. They didn't hear anything at all. And they decided, apparently, one of them, who managed to live and tell the tale, said that they had gone up on the mountain to the overlook. Something like Champlain Overlook or something like that. And they went out and they were sitting on the wall. There was like 2 or 3 of them. They had their girlfriends. And then one of them heard something. It was in the bush. But by the time that they could run, it was already on them. That's what the guy said. That's what the story in the newspaper said the next day. They only found one of them, and really it wasn't much. You ever seen what a side of beef looks like when it's being cut up?
No.
It's pretty bloody. I don't know. That was pretty much the last. But they all thought they saw a white dog. Had some brown on it.
Stop talking. They're talking about Mel, aren't you?
They've never seen him. You know. And back then,
Are talking?
they thought
That sounds
he was a werewolf.
back when
But he's all right. No!